Let's go!
Toronto, Ontario born, not raised, Cambridge is where he spent most of his days. We're talking Cabrel Richards, not Will Smith. The man who is to sports personalities what Richard Pryor is to comedy. A true original. In the late 90s, when the Score came on the scene, they needed content. As a broke intern, his biggest obstacle was getting his segment approved. With bold out-of-the-box thinking, Cabbie burst onto the Toronto sports scene. Now, having interviewed literally everyone from Drake to Kobe, Jordan to Mike Tyson, his number one dream guest for his podcast, Cabbie Presents, is none other than Michelle Obama. If he ever gets his wish, knowing Cabbie, it will be one of the most original interviews she's ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Cabbie.
Straight out of the T-Dot.
That's what it is.
Live from the 6 boroughs.
Don't go nowhere.
For sure. Welcome to Standing in the 6 with your hosts, Michael and Constantine.
Well, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Well, good morning. Mike, I love your shirt, man. I love your shirt.
Are you mocking me?
I'm not. I mean, we both have the same shirt on.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Do your intro as you do.
You're not.
No, do your intro, your standard intro.
What's that? Well, good
Good
morning,
morning,
everyone.
everyone.
Well, good morning. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Standing in the 6. Yes. What if that smashed? Would it be a safety concern? We have the wonderful Michael Reventar.
Well, it's so nice of you to say that.
Thank you. And we have the...
And the formidable, Constantine.
Yes, thank you.
Do you know what formidable means?
Formed?
It means wonderful in French.
Okay. That's how much I know French.
Yeah, I only know it because of a song by Stromae. Shout out to Stromae, amazing artist out of Paris.
Really?
No, I think he's from Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I have no idea. And my French is terrible. I sucked at French.
Did you?
Yeah, but both my kids are in French immersion, so they're fluent. They could have French conversations together, and I would not even know what they're saying.
Did you tell me a story where Hannah, your daughter, had some friends over, and they were frolicking through the estate?
Yeah.
And they were...
Stop, before people start thinking this different
joking.
picture. Yeah.
But look, and it's in Durham region, so
Yeah, exactly.
take it with a grain of salt.
There you go.
And what happened again? You this is your daughter. You've known her
Yes.
almost her entire life.
Almost.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's frolicking through the kitchen
Yeah.
with friends.
And they're just laughing and giggling in French. It was hilarious, and it was the first time that I actually saw her in an element that I'm thinking, wow. I mean, I have no idea what's happening, and two, this is really cool.
It's bizarre. Huh?
Yeah, very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you'd think that they would know Greek. However, I was a very bad parent, and I did not push them.
I noticed that, we had a previous guest on the show, Elias, and I remember it seems like there's like a guilt. There's a Greek guilt that I'm picking up on.
It is, and that guilt.
Am I the only one here that picks up on it? But I don't think it's because of you. I'm not blaming.
No, I think the guilt comes from the parents. It's it's a past guilt of you let me down.
Yeah. Is it beaten in or is it sewn in? Is it stitched in?
It's reminded frequently.
But I think there's a real thing.
Yes.
There is a Greek guilt, whether it's related to culture or related to hairdos.
You know what the worst is when my kids ask me why I didn't teach them Greek.
They ask you?
Oh yeah. Now when that happens, that is when you first of all, you got to make sure the grandparents are away so they won't hear that, because that'll be ammunition. But at the end of the day, as long as they have French, they have the country's language, second language. That's going to give you the second level of
So that's how you basically console your conscience.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
They used to remember how to count in 10. Yeah. Lorraine actually knows more Greek than they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what love is as well. But anyways.
Speaking of love.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of it, how was your day? Remember the year of reflection or deflection.
Reflection. Yeah, let's reflect.
Let's reflect.
You want to
yeah.
reflect for 3 seconds?
Yeah. Not really. So, Mike, today is another very exciting day. I mean, why don't we? I'm always saying things are exciting. What about you? Are you ever excited?
Listen. First rule of improv, if
Yes.
you've ever done an improv,
I haven't.
is never say no. Always say yes.
Okay.
So, for example, 3 seconds of reflection.
Yes.
Let's reflect.
Okay.
It's better than saying, no, I don't want to do it. Let's
Okay.
just go on.
All
You
right,
know what I
let's
mean?
do it.
It's just, yeah.
Go
Oh,
for
now you want to do it.
Go
now.
for it, Mike. Go for it. I
You
want to
know?
hear you. I want to get inspired.
Okay.
Reflect.
Well, I'm not gonna do it now.
Okay.
You know, you don't repeat.
Okay.
I'm just saying organically as things come out. Let's just go.
Let's just go with the flow.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's not be guilty as the Greeks are.
All right. So let's put it to test right now. Throw something out, anything you want, and we'll see if I, go,
Okay.
go with the flow.
Okay, I'm gonna
Go.
beatbox and you're
Anything.
gonna freestyle.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right. We're here and standing in the 6. It's Monday morning. What's your picks for the lottery? I have no idea. Listen.
This is like that was pretty mellow. That was West Coast for the lottery.
Listen, I don't do this. Actually, I do it, but not today. Not today. Jon Snow.
This is manism.
For all the game
for the
for all the
the
Game of Thrones
lottery.
fans. Exactly.
For the lottery. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snoop. But yeah, today.
What other skills do you have?
What other? I'm a drum player.
What?
Yeah, I play the drums.
Do you remember in Napoleon Dynamite? He says, girls like guys that have skills. Remember?
Well, I have those.
Okay.
I have those skills.
You play drums. What else do you do?
I'm an avid aquarium keeper. Marine aquariums.
For real?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously I know this
Yeah.
about you.
Yes.
It's this deep passion.
Deep passion.
Let me ask, this is very, very random. What is phytoplankton?
Phytoplankton is the building blocks of the ocean, Mike. Okay? If there was no phytoplankton in the ocean, we would not be alive at all.
No,
Okay.
okay, relax.
'Cause a
okay,
building block,
easy,
it means the
easy.
beginning.
What does the ocean have to do with me living on land? I don't get it.
It's the food chain. And it's the smallest block in the food chain that starts in the ocean.
This sounds like a Nas album.
Yeah, and I used to grow it back in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah. I used to harvest it, just like weed. I never harvested weed, but I used to
That's
harvest
a
it.
reference.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
I'm just saying,
goodness.
because you use the same
Look
elements.
at you.
You use light.
Forward thinker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at
So
the
you
end-
used light? Yeah.
Yes. And anyways, there's different strains. If we go to the Latin name of Nanochloropsis is I don't want to bore you guys right now.
No, this is fascinating.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I used to grow this stuff and feed it to my aquariums, and also use it as a small little bit of entrepreneurial, and just sell it to some stores.
Really?
Yeah, just so I can feed the hobby and
So a true supplier.
True
No, I know.
supplier.
I remember once being in Sir Constantine's basement, and we opened up a door, and he has like literally this incredible setup. You literally look like you were making yourself into the Green Lantern or something, because it was these jars of green.
Yes.
With this light backlit, like
Yeah.
it looked like it was like glowing green
Yeah.
jars
Yes.
of plasma.
Yes.
But it's phytoplankton.
That's right.
But it's like it was kind of out of like a superhero movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's that mad scientist element to what you're doing. You know what I mean? But it's fun. And that's a little secret piece of my life. One day I might show you a little glimpse of the aquariums. In fact, as soon as I'm done here today, I got to run back to the house. I had a little water blitz yesterday. Where basically
You sound like a senior.
Yeah, a pump went.
A water blitz.
A pump
went.
And literally wiped out 3 of my tanks. Cut all. I mean, it was an electric hazard. Literally, like how you see in the movies how surges of electricity.
Yeah.
It was literally one of those things. So I didn't basically set one of the loop systems. When you're putting anything with water in your aquarium, you're supposed to loop the extension. So if a water drips, it doesn't drip into the bar.
But you know this.
I did.
So how did it happen?
It's one of these things where you're just like, nothing's gonna happen.
Oh my goodness.
And then it happened.
Like,
And if I did not go downstairs to take a look at it, I could have had this morning 3 aquariums completely finished.
Really?
Clownfish, anemones, everything.
So this is the
living down.
cost of cutting corners.
Yes. This is a perfect example why you don't want to cut corners. in
Or turn a
anything that you
blind
do.
eye to something that is an
That's
apparent
right.
problem.
Do it right the first time.
I think there's a lesson here.
But there is. You know what the lesson is?
What?
There's no winner, but there's a learning experience here. And the learning experience is not lose, learning.
Let's try that again. I
I always butch quotes. Always. I destroy them. I destroy every quote that comes to me.
that would be a bad T-shirt.
It would.
I always butch quotes. It's so
But
okay.
anyways,
But look. There's a lesson there. Just if you're gonna do it well.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you're gonna do it well.
Do it well.
So like that's
Measure-
fascinating. You love these things.
Yes.
This is a big part of your life. One of your hobbies.
Yeah.
You cut corners, and it's gonna cost you.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah.
big part of my life, cutting corners.
Is it?
No, absolutely. And it could have literally, it's sad to see. I've had fish that have been around longer than my kids. Okay. I have one, Nemo from the Dory. Actually, not Nemo. I'm trying to go back to the North American dumbed down versions of how you guys reference fish. So there's Dory, which is a blue tang, and then there's
the clownfish.
Nemo, which is the clownfish.
Yeah.
So Dory, which is the tang, has been around for 12 years in our household. So it's been pretty cool to have a fish that long, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And their lifespans are usually about 15 to 20 years, depending on how well they keep. And that's in captivity. So, sorry, in the wild. So in captivity, obviously everything's dumbed down because, you're taking a little fish who has the entire ocean, putting it in a little aquarium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's quite inhumane.
Exactly.
At the core, it really bugs me because I'm all about freedom. I don't like barriers. I actually frequently have dreams being a horse, finding horses that are in a barn that find me on the outside of the fence, and they say to me, "How did you get on the other side?"
That's crazy.
That's a true story.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, look, enough about phytoplankton, enough about fish and horses. We got a really cool guest coming up today, someone that I've been watching for many years.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you have too, Mike.
Absolutely.
Major influence in our basketball culture.
Mm-hmm.
Has a great personality.
He's very swaggy. He's very
Yes.
swaggy. He's very spicy.
Yes.
Very original.
Right.
The one, the only.
Cabbie Williams, and his actual birth name.
His name is Cabrel Richards.
Cabrel Richards.
Richards. So who's
What
Willie?
the hell did I just say?
Cabbie Williams.
Why did Williams come into my mind right now?
I
We're
don't
going to
know.
cut that whole thing out. That's not even... this whole entire aquarium talk and everything is gone. Well, it's a great day today, Mike, because
Yes.
we got some really cool talent in the
Yeah.
house today. And we're not talking about you. We're talking about Mr. Cabbie Richards. And birth name, Cabrel Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Been watching him for a very, very long time. Has had a major influence in the basketball culture.
Yeah, spicy.
Spicy.
He's swag. Are we really doing this over again?
I mean, I think we should, because I just called the guy something different. Hi, we got Brad Titt.
He's
Okay.
Look, man, he's got a sense of humor, man.
Okay.
So look, it's amazing to have Cabbie here.
Yeah.
All of us know him. He's just one of those guys. Have you ever been out and seen how people react to Cabbie when he shows up? They literally come up to him like they're his best friend. That's the most amazing thing when someone has such a great comedic vibe about them. People just look at you just like, "What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you're
Yeah.
amazing, man. You know what I mean? Make me laugh. Make me laugh."
Yes, right.
You know,
That's
so-
him. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to this.
So maybe we have the deepest conversation ever. Maybe we just get really contemplative and conscious.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
sounds
do it.
good. Hey,
All
Cabbie,
right.
you ready?
Yeah.
Cab, just put your clothes on and you can go back on set.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Cabbie Richards.
Hey.
Let's go.
This is legit, man. Like I use a radio studio, and you guys built one yourself. This is awesome.
Yeah. Hey, nice.
This is very, very strong.
okay. Awesome.
That's
awesome.
listen, man.
good. Hey,
That's
that means a
amazing.
lot, bro.
Yeah, it
We know
does.
you've been
It
all
does.
over.
We've had
Nice work.
We've had this. Well, by the way, before we begin, good morning, everyone. We are here today with the very own Cabbie Richards.
Good morning,
Uh,
or good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, and we were saying this earlier.
Salut.
We've been watching you. I mean, I know I have. I can't speak for Mike, but I've been watching you for
Hey,
a
I've been
long
Thanks,
time.
man.
I've been. Why are you cutting me like
Well, I'm
that?
not cutting you, man.
You
but
don't know from me. I told you that I've been.
You don't know from me.
Today's all original days, man.
Okay, fine. Go.
But
Listen.
I have been watching you for years.
Thank
and when we always say this because we're in security. We always do backgrounds. We've done your security background.
Yeah.
And notice,
My own?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. We got to
Yeah.
make
What's
sure.
on my thing?
I
Well,
mean,
listen. Just because we have your SIN number memorized, and, it's all good.
502.
Okay.
well, one of the things that I mean, we're the same age, right? Which to me was one of those things where like interesting. A lot of our guests that have been coming in have been kind of in our age bracket. So
Okay.
but it shows me just how long I've been kind of following your journey.
Thanks,
Do
man.
you know what I mean? And it's through networks and friends and contacts and stuff. We're very happy to have you here today. It's just kind of jump into your world.
My pleasure. This is a wonderful setup, and I'm this is like not what I expected, but I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm sure that conversation wherever it goes will also be surprising and fun.
No, for sure. I mean,
So what's your purpose in life? Something. Let's just start off.
Let's get
slow.
right to the core.
Yeah.
All the onion. Let's slice the onion in half and get right to that center bulb.
Yeah.
Let's put it in our mouths and chew on it.
No,
Yeah, I like that.
absolutely,
That's a
man.
good way of putting it.
For us, when we wanted to jump into this, we wanted to make sure that because look, the funny thing is we're in situations all the time where we're just looking, we're observing. That's what we're doing.
Okay,
We
yeah.
observe, and the stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis, it's like it could be mind blowing, and sometimes it can be just like
Benign.
exactly. So for us, when we thought to do this, we're like, there's so much, and literally this could sound like there's so much negativity. Okay,
This is true.
that gets pushed out all the time. And for us, in our journey and what we do in the company, is what we're looking to do is always lead, inspire, and motivate people. And that's our journey on a day-to-day, just living, right?
Awesome.
So what we want to do is just bring a little bit of exposure. And then, after watching some cool documentaries with, Fred Rogers and him being a big,
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah,
I couldn't get through that
Rogers.
one, actually.
Oh, you really?
I didn't see it. I didn't see the documentary.
You didn't see it?
Not
It's, I mean, it is inspiring, and
Yeah.
he's such a positive person. I was
Yeah.
just like, I need some muck. Like
Yeah.
I need a beginning, middle, and I need an arc.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? And it's
right.
just here the whole time. It's
Right.
like I had a level 10
For
because
sure.
he's just such a great, nice man, just doing these great things. He has a security guard who was not security guard, the one brother that was on the show
Yes,
was
yes,
like secretly
yes.
gay.
That's
and
right,
like,
that's right.
And it was still like a moment to have him on the show in that time
Yeah.
in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, like, are we going to the club?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
are we?
yeah.
Like, where's the Studio 54 in Wisconsin
Right.
or wherever the show is?
Yeah.
But we didn't get there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It didn't satiate my need for
Muck it up.
for the
Exactly.
seedier parts of life.
I think there's going to be an HBO version that comes out eventually.
No, I think it was on HBO, wasn't it?
Was
Oh no,
it?
it was in the theaters.
It was in the theaters.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then it made its way to Netflix.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. But yeah, it was one of those things where we thought, look, this guy did so much good. He inspired many, many people. And
here I am looking for the dirt in his
I
life.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with me?
I think, yeah.
I'm part of the problem.
Yes.
And it's the reason that I'm here today, in order to absorb some of your positive
There you
energy.
go,
It's
man.
true, but do we know his intentions?
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
we know? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, yeah, it's so funny.
But yeah, man. So for us, this is something that we enjoy doing. Obviously, we get to meet very interesting people all the time, and just kind of like I said, push that positivity, and represent the city. Because look, man, I'm sure obviously you had a nice insight into yesterday's Raptors game, and what's going down with the city and how we're getting all this exposure. We have an incredible city,
We do.
incredible city, man. And for us to kind of just highlight that and just whip that out into what we're doing is huge.
So all different kinds of people, like you guys have artists and other creators,
Right.
And, I don't know. Do you have people in public like in public policy? Like,
Yeah.
do you have any people of government in here? Like, you have all kinds of teachers and
I mean,
mentors and
Yes.
all, okay, all that's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
100%, 100%.
Well, then I shouldn't be here.
No.
I mean,
no.
you have a quality individuals.
Oh,
that
come
are
on, man,
on the
come
show,
on.
and then there's me, and
No,
it's
no.
like
I mean-
this is gonna be like the Nas Lost Tapes album. It's like it's
just
not.
talking
It,
about
it
Nas.
wasn't supposed to be like released. It's like we'll dig it out of the crates in
The
about 10
last
years
tapes.
and see if it has any legs. That's where this one will be.
This is where the gold comes, man. We're gonna pull that gold, man.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and if you don't think you have it, we're going to find it.
Well,
We're gonna
look,
find
one of the
it.
first things that you said, the very first thing you said is you looked at Mike and you said, "I think I know you somewhere," right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. I mean, maybe that's a good opportunity because I know this story.
Yeah, so in high school, you owed me $7,200.
There's no chance.
And
I was working at Wendy's. Was my first job in high school.
nice.
Then Beaver Lumber, which is no longer. It's like a hardware store.
Beaver Lumber.
Right, Beaver
I
Lumber, and
remember
then
that.
Canadian Tire. It was just like, what can I do with my hands, or what can I eat? And
Yeah.
that's where I friggin'
Keeping
worked.
it real.
Where did you grow up? What area? Because we got a lot of Scarborough people in here.
I'm not from Scarborough. So I was born in Toronto. I lived here till I was 12. And
Yeah.
then those jobs, I moved to Cambridge, Ontario
Okay.
from 12 to 19. And then I came back to go to Ryerson, and I've been here ever since. So
Wow.
those 7 years, I did not live in Toronto. So, before I moved to Cambridge, I was born at I was Flemington Park, Don Mills and Eglinton. I
Hey,
lived at Martin Grove and
I'm a boy
Finch,
right here.
Yeah.
Kipling and Albion. I lived at Jane and Finch, Caledonian St. Clair, Kingston Road and Woodbine.
Yeah.
Lived a bunch of spots.
When were you in Flamo?
When I was born, like 0 to 1.
Okay. Because I mean,
And then I lived there my first year at Ryerson. I lived at 33 St. Dennis Drive.
Really?
35 St. Dennis Drive.
Okay, so
Or
I
St.
grew-
St. Dennis Drive, St. Dennis Street. Either way. I lived there for 1 year.
Which one is it?
Roaches and all.
I mean, oh yeah, 100%.
Apartment 303.
I mean,
yes.
I grew up in Grenoble, 45 Grenoble.
Okay, yeah.
And it's funny because when Neil was on the show, he was telling me his grandparents, we used to visit, were on 1704. So he was above me 2 floors. I'm
Oh,
thinking,
wow.
What?
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy.
Small world, man.
Very,
Very
small,
small
world.
world.
Yeah, but
Roaches
I mean,
and all.
but you know what the crazy thing is your journey defines you, and it creates your paths and opens many doors, right? Some areas of your journey are going to obviously go in a different direction, but at the end of the day, man, it's brought you to where you are right now, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate because I met some awesome people, and like my Ryerson years were formative in that I met 7 other dudes who were like-minded, and we were very competitive with each other at school, which was great because it just fostered this urge to like want to be the best. Or in this group was like, who was the funniest? And I was humbled immediately because, you know, in high school, you're in this little microcosm.
Yeah.
And you have, if you're an athlete or if you're one of the kids that have academic proficiency, you have some confidence. Or maybe if you're one of the theater kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was among those groups, and so I was like, I had a little bit of confidence.
Yeah,
Go to Ryerson, and then the guys in my immediate group were way funnier than me. I was like, oh man, just humbled immediately. And like the guy from our year who was the most successful in our group is a writer in LA. He created the show Blind Spot. I don't know if you see it on TV.
Yeah,
It's like Blind Spot, created by Martin Garrow. Like we were in the same writing class. And so that is another way that I've been humbled.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But it's so as part of the journey, just meeting great people and kind of weeding out, as you mentioned earlier, like there's a lot of negativity, and energy is infectious.
Yes.
And we've all been around people that are just like the woe is me, or just like always complaining, always salty about something, super insecure, just like you reach a point where you can't really, you got to cut some of those people out of your life,
Right.
because they're dragging you down.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate that I haven't had that many people like that, and if I have, I've identified that somehow. I haven't read The Secret or anything like that, but just like, this person vibe kind of sucks.
You know.
Yeah.
You get a feeling.
It's like, I relate to music. You know when something's off tune.
Right.
You just know it's off tune. It's just.
But that's okay. But that's interesting though, because music, we all have a frequency like that we gravitate to with music and stuff, and there are so many artists and there's so many styles and genres. There's a frequency for everybody. So that's like, I guess for you, you know what works for you, or the frequency that you enjoy or whatever that resonates with you,
Right.
and then you can sort of delete accordingly or whatever doesn't vibe with you. But music is interesting because there's like,
now when I say music,
there's like hundreds of genres.
yeah, when I say music, I don't mean genre. Like you'll know it's off tune. Meaning if anyone went up to a piano, whether you're a concert pianist or an amateur, kids will cringe when someone plays a piano and it's off.
Well,
tune.
yeah, if another
You know.
6-year-old is banging a ging, bing,
Yeah.
bing, bing, like
Bang,
one of
mhm.
those Fisher Price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Some people in life, they're just off tune. They're not really. They're not. You know, there's nothing about it that's.
But sometimes that isn't apparent right away. Music you can hear right away. That's off tune.
Yeah.
But like, it might take years for you to just realize someone is just like not going, doesn't have the same trajectory, or doesn't want to have the same trajectory as you do, or. So like,
very true. Way more
you know,
complex.
out of years of friendship or loyalty, and then you're just like, we started at the same place, but we're kind of veering in opposite directions. And I'm sorry, man, I got to go my direction.
Yeah.
What did you take at Ryerson?
To radio and TV.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Did you find that it helped you to get to this? Like, because a lot of times we've asked that question, and there's a lot of like, you're going to get the theory element of things, and really the schooling element's not really going to help you. It's kind of like, you know, getting that opportunity that presented
Before he
itself.
answers, are you an official spokesperson for Ryerson?
I am not.
Okay, so authenticity.
I am
Here we
not.
go. Let's get a real answer.
It prepared me. There
Yeah.
are a lot of practical elements to the program. We had all the tools. Like at the time, we had, you know, the newest like audio lab, and then we're getting HD cameras, and there's a new control room. And, you know, the school had got a lot of private money from Rogers and from CTV at the time.
Yeah.
So it put us in a good position to prepare ourselves, and then mostly it was just like that group of guys. Like there were 8 of us. We called ourselves the Hard 8. We stole that moniker from this Paul Thomas Anderson movie. We were all a bunch of film buffs or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we all wanted to be like, you know, like 3 of the guys wanted to be like the next Quentin Tarantino / Wes Anderson, and then some of us wanted to be like me. I wanted to be like Will Smith and Denzel, and another dude wanted to be like Leo DiCaprio, and then our boy RT wanted to be Scorsese meets Kubrick meets Spike Lee. Like those are some of his heroes. Meets oh my goodness, what's the because we watched so much Hong Kong action cinema. John Woo.
John Woo, yeah.
It was another director that he really loved. So I think who I was surrounded with impacted me more than school, but school put me in a position to win. And also it opened, I was like, the only reason I got to intern at the Score, which is my first TV gig, I was writing scripts, was because I was from Ryerson, and half of the people that worked at the store were Ryerson alumni, and the other half were from a college in Ottawa. But it just helped that on my resume with Canadian Tire, Beaver Lumber, Wendy's, and I cut some videos at like my high school. Like I did some of the athletic banquet videos. I had no really other experience, and I'm not even sure how I got into Ryerson, but from there, that's how I got in my first TV gig, and then I ran with it.
There you go, man.
What was life as an intern? I've never
broke.
Yeah,
you're broke.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just kind of, your eyes are wide open because you're just learning and absorbing. And I was certainly not as gregarious as I am now. I just kind of was just laying in the cut. And also at the time I was working at the store, and I had a job at HMV at Young and Dundas. I was working in the video department selling Matrix friggin' widescreen VHS tapes and whatnot, Heat on DVD, you know. But so like, you know, you work for free for a while, and then you work for like $50 a shift writing scripts, and then I started doing a little on the street segment where I'd go out and I'd harass random people on the street, asking them really stupid.
Did you propose this, or did they ask you? Like
no, they didn't ask me. There was like the score, because it was such a young network, so it opened its doors in '97. I got there late '98. Mm-hmm. They just needed content, and before content was the word content, they needed programming. They needed material to put on the air. So they had highlights, and then they had, you know, some graphics with like stats and stuff, and then they just needed people. So in that environment, a lot of people got chances if you showed some gusto. And so I went out and I just did this, you know, Man on the Street segment, which was going to be a part of a weekend highlight show with Steve Coolius and Lisa Bose.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just did one, and it sucked. And I showed my boss. I got someone to edit it. He's like, it's okay, do another one, just to show me what it looks like. I did another one about the national anthem being played before sporting events, if people were for or against it. And some people were against it. They're like, we don't, because, you know, other than sporting events, you just hear it in high school. Right. It's like the last time you hear it.
And it's gone.
And then you'll see it at the Olympics if your country, if someone from your country wins a gold medal. And then at the end of the bit, I had people singing "Oh Canada," and I was singing as well. And then I was singing to like a little baby in a carriage, and the baby started to cry. So then my boss, like, obviously our frequencies were different. I was the one that was off key. That baby's like, get me away from this monster. So my boss thought it was funny. He's like, okay, we can start to air them, and they started airing Sundays at like 11:55. I had to like call this is the era where you're calling people's house phones.
Right.
Yeah. Hey man, can you watch this thing and let me know if it sucks?
Yeah.
So my friends started watching, and then it just gradually picked up steam, and then and it grew, and I went from like, I would go to Humber College and York and U of T and George Brown. I would just hit like college campuses because there'd be a lot of people my own age walking around, and I just knew there'd be crowds, and I just was walking up to random people and asking them for 2 minutes to ask them like sports questions, and being a large chubby bastard is a little bit intimidating for regular people. So I got a lot of rejections. I mean, it was kind of like my high school experience, just lived in the real world. A lot of swings, bro. A lot of swings and misses, like 3 pitches, just wide, like in a baseball analogy. So that A, helped me with girls, and then B, just helped me with being able to just go approach people and hopefully get some funny moments.
Right.
Which you obviously did. It was some gold, man. I still remember. There's a number of them. You're like a staple in the city.
Thanks,
you're
man.
One like synonymous with it. If anyone,
well, I don't know about that's a little far. That's far.
No, I'd say straight goods. You are. If you wanted to test someone, if someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Toronto," or if they say they lived here, you ask them, "Do you know Cabbie?" If they have a blank stare, I'd be like, "Yo," right? For real.
It's true.
I don't think that's.
Oh,
first of all, I don't think that's question's ever been asked in the history of ever.
It's like,
and secondly,
trust me, I've asked it.
That's a lie.
I've asked it.
Take your sunglasses off and then and then look me in the eyes.
They're
and then,
prescriptions.
You might be looking at the helmet.
They're on the list of people that could wear sunglasses indoor. There's Bono,
Howard Stern.
Yeah. There's Jay-Z, Kanye, Mike.
That's it. There you go. No, I asked obscure questions like that. I remember a guy's talking about Scarborough. So I said to him, I'm like, what's Mid Scarborough? And he's like,
I don't know the answer to that question either.
It's
But I'm not here
it's
carrying the flag for
yeah, exactly.
for Scarborough.
It's a community center.
It's called Mid Scarborough?
It's called Mid Scarborough.
Oh.
It's right off of Ellesmere Station off the RT. So the screech
okay.
T that happens that
Yeah.
goes through.
Yeah.
It's there. Just some grimy games. There's some betting going on. Guys try to sneak in the gym late to try to turn the lights on and get in there after hours. So that's another thing. Or if you're from Deep Scarborough, you should know what Chicken Joy is, right? You know, some guys don't know what Chicken Joy is.
I've never been to Chicken Joy.
Chicken Joy is a spot. It's like the KFC of like Deep Scarborough.
Okay.
And there's Chicken Joy that sells chicken, and then there's a whole plethora of business that happens out the parking lot and on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
It's like
or was that back in like the 90s?
No, this is it's forever. It's the same dudes. The guys from the 90s are still there. They're still there. They're still dressed the same.
I've never been in Chicken Joy. I recently
just hustling, dog. Yes, fam. Like it's the same thing. There's no progression. Like literally, it's time stamped. Like forever.
There was where they built the Pan Am Games, that aquatic center at like
by Morningside area.
Yeah. There's a burger joint. I went to like 2 summers ago that I'd never been to.
Yes.
But it's not too far from there. It's maybe like 5.
Is it Johnny Burgers when you
No, Johnny's is at like
Victoria Park, actually.
VP and
Shepherd.
Shepherd. Yeah,
We're talking about like Military Trail in Morningside. There's a burger place.
Yeah, I can't remember. So maybe this is one of these like if you're from that, you would know. And someone put me onto that game. I was like, oh, and I went and ate 2 burgers because I'm a disgusting pig and I don't. Willpower is not my friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, since I'm here, I might as well have 2. So I did.
Well, hold on. Since we're into the eating, you actually, I mean, you look pretty good, man. I mean, to me,
I'm wearing a black shirt.
No, but
for a reason. Yeah, I mean, Mike could wear a white. He could wear a child's medium and be straight.
Yeah,
but actually, you're good too. What am I talking? I'm not taking shots at you. I'm wearing black for a reason because I'm trying to hide all this belly fat. Because last night I was editing this PJ Tucker interview. Yeah. Got home about 3 a.m. and there's a 24-hour metro at Kennedy and 401.
Yes.
Always hit the metro on the way home.
Kennedy Commons.
That's right.
But no. Kennedy.
Yes,
you're right.
Yeah.
But like, my decision making late night is very poor.
Right.
So why am I buying? Oh, kettle chips 2 for $5. Yes, I'll take it. It's the sales. They always get it. Every time I go to Shoppers, whatever's on fit, I'm buying it because it's on sale.
Yeah.
Because I have Caribbean roots, and my mom. I don't know if my mother's ever paid regular price for anything in life.
Yes.
Still, my dude, coupons
on principle. Just on principle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where back in the Caribbean from your
mom's from Trinidad and dad's from Jamaica.
Okay, nice.
So it was a very loud household. There was reggae music. There was soca music. My dad was into funk. My mom was into Whitney Houston and Luther.
Yes.
So there was always music played, and then there was constant arguments. You know, and then
Luther being Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross, yes.
Not Idris Elba's
character
series,
right?
Which I think season 4 is coming out soon. It's supposed to be crazy.
You know, the Brits, their TV shows are like 6 episodes, and that's it.
Quality.
Like, you're right.
There's actually,
and they'll take like a year and a half to do that.
No, it's funny.
They don't have to pump them out like in the States.
Like in the Americans do.
No, the one that man, it was. I only saw it because I heard that Drake really enjoyed it. He was part of the producer. It was in England.
Top Boy.
Have you seen Top Boy?
Yeah, I like Top Boy. I thought it was,
but it was very short. It's like what? It's finished. Like,
yeah,
it's done. Like
3 seasons.
But
was it even 3? Or was it 2 seasons?
Yeah, but there was like 5 or 6 episodes per show. But you're right. They don't have a lot of. They just stop it.
Yeah, they don't go like 10, 12. Like I think 8 to 10 is sort of the the sweet spot for American series nowadays. It used to be 22 episodes.
Right.
Now they've condensed it to 8 and 10.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Brits, they go,
quality,
4 or 5. Some they could, what I see the other day that had 7. There was one that had like random odd number of episodes. I can't remember. Maybe it was Escape from Dannemora, which is an American show. But anyway, whatever. We're getting off topic.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I can't. Oh, black T-shirts, right?
Yes.
Eating.
Yes.
Terrible decisions. Terrible. And there's another spot like late night when, as Jay-Z said, one of the Remy's in the system. Mm-hmm. After 2 a.m., my eating is so foul.
Okay.
So I have to discover late night spots to, feed my hunger.
Yes.
So there's a couple of pizza spots at Harvard and Spadina that are open till like 4, right at the U of T campus.
Yeah. Good.
Stop there, 2 slices. Why do I get 2 slices? Your belly's good with 1.
Yeah.
I get 2.
Right.
Why? Because the vodka's leaking out of my pores.
Yeah.
And the vodka's like, bathe me in grease. I'm like, I will obey you.
Yeah.
So then stop there, boom, go home and just sitting on the couch watching highlights or whatever.
And that pizza's good.
That pizza is
man.
delicious.
Do you know what's actually really helpful? I mean, I found it Just have you heard of intermittent fasting?
Yes.
Okay, so I find what I do is
Sorry, I
actually
just have to pause you there.
Yes,
There's
why?
certain things like that just they make life seem dull.
no, actually it's not. See, it gives you a little bit of both worlds.
No,
See,
I get it. I get the science. Everyone's all on this. It's just
That is like one of the not the trends, but it's one of the most popular
It is
health.
yes.
but it has a
fads.
very vicious element to it if you do it for too long. So when you're doing intermittent fasting, obviously, you're cutting out like 8 hours of the day without eating. Sorry, 8 hours a day is your only eating window.
Yeah.
And so I usually eat what I want to eat in that time frame. I mean, I don't go nuts, but I do it because my body's going to fast for 16 hours. However, if you do it for longer than 3 months, and they recommend usually about a month or two, your metabolism slows down because your stomach shrinks from not eating that much.
Oh,
so when you
interesting.
do go back into the world to start eating normal again, your body can't keep up with it. So your metabolism slow down very slow.
Interesting.
And then you start gaining weight even faster.
Did that happen to you? Did you
that happened to me.
Oh, okay.
Now, so if I am going to do it now, I'll do it for max about a month and a half, and then I'm off it,
Interesting.
and I gradually phase into it. But I say that.
Can
'cause
I
it's
can I
both
recommend
worlds.
something?
Tell
What
me.
about sustainability?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's saying.
something-
It's not sustainable.
That's what I'm
Because-
saying. Just no, I'm according him to
Okay.
excellence. What about just trying something
Yeah.
a little bit at a time?
Speaking from the man who can eat whatever he wants.
Right?
And
Look at
then
this
nothing
dude.
happens.
He's a 150 wet.
Yeah.
You could jump in the octagon and then get knocked out in 90 seconds.
Straight, absolutely. But I'll pluck an eyebrow. I'll pluck an eyebrow. I'll get it.
You'll scratch a
I'll get my
cornea like you're
eyebrow.
Draymond Green.
I'll show my kids. I'm like, see that?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
You have
See what he
children?
said? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for
You see
you.
what you'll scratch a cornea like Draymond Green.
I'm an idiot. I'm not well.
And he was hunting for another one. Did you see that play on the baseline?
No.
Harden shows the ball, drives baseline, and Green just literally comes at him with his hand. Like his hand just kind of like hits him in the face again. Like he's no play on the ball, just like this, and then he kind of puts his hands up. It's just
Interesting.
a little suspect.
Yeah.
A little suspect.
That's called gamesmanship.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go,
exactly.
man.
He's going for the other eye. Like he was going. I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
You ever
He wants
seen
to
it?
make him daredevil.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Gabby. Did you? And this may sound like a weird question, okay? But it's actually. I ask it because you just never know. But do you enjoy what you do? I mean, you do things that
Yeah.
are in the eye and stuff, and at the end of the day,
In the eye.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
In the public eye, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying. All
Are we
the
talking
time.
about the what I do off camera?
No, I'm just
And
saying.
how do
like,
you know that?
It's just yeah.
Who do we know that's
the security check. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my, what footage have you seen?
Yeah. Oh,
No, I'll tell you this because, look, you always have elements of everything doing whatever. I mean, you can be in a professor in law. You could be doing this. You can be doing that. Sometimes you just may not enjoy the grind. I mean, the other day, look, given what we do in security, I really enjoy it. But sometimes it can be really overwhelming. And then I'll be like, man, I just want to just go to Mexico and just live there and just get away from everything.
sell
Yeah.
mopeds on the beach.
Yeah, just something just to
Rent
'cause,
them.
look, our life in North America is very fast. Move. There's no stopping. But the life in Europe or Mexico or some of the Caribbean islands and all that, it's just you're just relax and chill, right? And that's why I say that the grind of moving, like understanding the grind. You know what I mean? Going from there.
The T-shirt that I'm wearing? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
In case people are listening to
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Because it's both a visual and audio medium.
That's right. Thank you so much
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you for that.
Yeah.
For keeping our.
But yeah, I ask because look, it could sound like a very simple question, but it could be complex as well.
Well, the stresses that I have in my job are not life and death.
Okay.
It is just like, can I get this piece to air?
Right.
Which is, it's not changing nobody's waiting for
Right.
my content like it's a vaccine.
Right.
So I always keep that in perspective. I love my job. It is a dream job. There are very few people in the world that get to speak with like elite performers. I'll say athletes and entertainers.
Right.
And get to like joke around with them. Like there's
Right.
there's probably maybe 20, 30, maybe 100 in North America on various talk shows or radio programs or TV programs or podcasts. So I'm very fortunate to have the platform that I have and just have the opportunity to speak to a bunch of these people. I mentioned PJ Tucker, plays for the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
I did an interview with him when he was with the Toronto Raptors for half a season or a season, and I climbed into his shirt. I was like, the way that you play defense is like you're right in here, and and then he was laughing, and I'm thankful that he was laughing because there are guys that you just don't try that ish with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not trying that with Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get a 2-piece right in my face.
Right.
Absolutely.
But PJ, he was, and then so when I saw him again, he remembered, and I said, "Oh, I saw you on your birthday," and we were out somewhere, and he was laughing. And then when we got into the interview, and I'm very animated, and I'm like an adult child with like hyper like ADD, but also like laced with like the most annoying, just an annoying kid. Like the kid in class is always trying to like get the attention. That's me, and I'm an adult version of that. But he was into it. So when guys allow themselves to vibe with my level of silliness, I appreciate it, and hopefully the audience does too, because the audience gets to see these people in a different way than they see them, applying their trade, whether it's in concert or on a TV show or playing in an arena or a stadium. Nice. So I'm very, very fortunate.
What makes it amazing though is your boldness, man. We have boldness has power and magic in it. There's something about when you go and you do it.
Yeah.
Not many
That's
people.
A really cool way to frame it. Power and magic in it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a quote from somebody. I heard it once.
It's from
Saw
you,
it on a
Mike.
T-shirt. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, but you had in that boldness. Your interview with Kobe Bryant is epic.
Thanks,
epic,
man.
Epic. Not many people can win him over like that. Like most people lose when they're around Kobe.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The best in the world lose around him. What was that like?
Well, I wasn't trying to compete with him.
No, I know.
So I always want to put him in a position to win. And obviously, if I'm speaking with Kobe Bryant, like I'm just gonna sort of metaphorically lob fastballs so we can hit them. And me, I'm just a chubby jackass. So the questions are like, and it's funnier for the audience to, I think, for me to be picked on, to be self-deprecating, because it's endearing, and B, like the guest feels more comfortable taking a shot at me versus me, ripping them about something.
Right.
Yeah.
So with Kobe, it took a little bit of time, but look, as every time I'd ask him something stupid, or I'd ask him to stay at his house, and then like, what's his phone number? What's your address? Here's I brought some CDs. Can we have a sleepover? Here's a pillow. Like I always brought props, and he was actually maybe the first athlete of note that I brought props to on a consistent basis. One time I cut a key to my house, and I gave him a key. Hey, here's a key. One time I brought him pajamas for a future sleepover.
Yeah.
And then there would always be like veiled threats and of violence. Like one time he said he put his 2 knuckles in my eye one time, because I was like, "Oh, can you retina scan?
Yeah.
Can my eyes work in your retina scanning? I'll retina scan you with these knuckles."
Yeah.
But once he let his guard down, then the audience got to experience a different Kobe Bryant, and I think some people really remember that because they're probably of a certain age when they started to see those interviews, and it was always like 1 or 2 a year that I would go to Los Angeles once a year, and I would bug him there, and then the one time he would come to Toronto, I'd probably I'd get 5 minutes with him, so it became a little bit of an anthem. And then I would go to the All-Star games, and he'd be at the All-Star games. Of course, he was a staple of All-Star games, so I would, I had him sing to me once, and like I don't know, it was pretty. I don't have like. I should cut like a super cut, like
definitely
the best, I don't know, 10 moments or just like a super cut of all like
Mamba moments.
Of the Mamba 20 moments. Interviews that we've done together.
That's sick.
It might be cool.
The evolution of that'd be cool. What's it like being on the inside of All-Star Weekend?
It's very busy. It's pretty chaotic. It's like controlled chaos because the NBA, they move in like an army. So they're there a week before, and NBA New York, they take over an entire hotel, and everything is like programmed for the players, and some players have obligations with their sponsors or their athletic brands, but all the NBA sanctioned stuff, like you got to be at this practice for 45 minutes, media's going to talk to you for 45 minutes after that, and then you got to go to this luncheon, and then we're painting houses over here.
Clockwork.
Yeah, man. So the guys don't, and their families and their boys come in, so the players have time in the evenings to go for dinners and stuff like that, but in the daytime their whole schedules are like planned for them, laid out for them.
Any special moment that stood out for you when All-Star Weekend was in Toronto 3 years ago? Because it's home turf.
I didn't get to go to any of the cool.
No.
Like I didn't go to that Carmelo dinner where like it was Carmelo, Chris Paul, LeBron, and D Wade. I think it was one of the. It was either Carmelo's, somebody's birthday was around that time.
Yeah.
I was hosting a bunch of events, so I was just going from event to event to event. The coolest thing, or I guess maybe the first thing that comes to mind was Shaquille O'Neal showed me on his phone a photo of Charles Barkley changing. And it was Charles half naked. It was either like, and he was in the bathroom, and he was like, so he kind of turned and he looked over his shoulder because either he heard Shaq say something or start
So
snickering.
he was covert.
He was covert,
he
yeah.
didn't know.
And the photo was a little bit blurry, but then you see all of like not his lower half. You see his, and he's a bigger guy. So and Shaq, like when showing it, he was just laughing so hard. Like it was like one of the best moments of that month for Shaquille O'Neal. So that's some. And I don't think he ever shared that photo. He just shared it with me when we were at Best Buy doing some Q&A or whatever, but I appreciated it.
That's jokes.
I don't want to see any more male nudity, but I mean that was pretty fun.
How they are on camera, I guess that's how they are. Huh?
What's the best show? Like that's why that show continues to win Emmys. It's been winning Emmys since I don't know, before Kobe was in the NBA. Like that's just the best studio show around.
Yeah, they have more fun than anybody, man. That's what it's about. It's so good.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Have you ever gone into a segment with somebody where, okay, do you remember that segment where Mike Tyson was I think on City TV or on CP24?
Oh my goodness!
And he was asked a question and he snapped
with Nigel Downer, not Nigel Downer, Nathan Downer.
Yes.
Nathan Downer, yeah.
And then Nathan Downer brought up his rape trial.
Yeah, exactly. And he
Yeah.
just have you ever like that's extreme, but have you ever been in a situation where you were going to do a funny bit and it just didn't go the way you wanted to go? Well,
yeah, I don't think Nathan's bit was trying to be funny. He was like, well, people have been asking. So I don't know what, I mean, I'm not sure what he expected, but he probably didn't
20
expect
years
that.
later,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, there have been multiple segments that haven't worked. Let me think of one recently. I was, I've told this one before, but I was at a junket for a movie called War Dogs, and it starred Miles Teller and Jonah Hill.
That's right.
And in the movie, they were both armed. They were selling
That's
guns.
Right. That's
like,
right.
Heavy artillery all over the world. So in the movie junket, you get 4 minutes with an actor.
Right.
And it's clockwork. You sit down, you introduce yourself, the clock starts.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to try to build a rapport with someone when you have 4 minutes and they know you have 4 minutes and they're seeing like 40 other people that day that are, so why'd you do the movie?
Right.
What about this role? Blah, blah, like that kind of stuff. So I always try to go in with something a little bit different.
Yes.
So with Jonah Hill, so halfway through, I was asking him about like training for the film. And I said, hey, I want to know how accurate you are with after the movie. So I had this little like satchel and I pull out an orange Nerf gun. It's clearly Nerf and it's orange.
Yes.
So I try to hand it to him and I'm sitting across from him like I am with you, Mike, which is probably like 4 feet away. Mm-hmm. He goes, oh no, bro, sorry, I can't do anything with guns. And I'm like, oh no, this is a Nerf. This is a Nerf gun. You see, Nerf is like on the bottom. This is a toy. And he's like, yeah, no, sorry. Like I have a just philosophical, no disrespect, bro, but I just can't do anything with guns. The movie's called War Dogs. On the poster, you're holding an AK-47. On the poster. So my guy, the dude turned into like actor guy. Like listen, we know you did a movie with Martin Scorsese. Okay?
Yes.
You did Wolf of Wall Street with Leo.
Yes,
we know you did Django with Leo DiCaprio and Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
We're like, serious actor guy.
Yeah.
Okay? You're from Superbad. Okay? Like, so then I also had, so what I was trying to do, I wanted to hand him the Nerf gun, and then I had this like Blue Jays cookie. I wanted him to like, okay, aim the target, and I would move the cookie to shoot me in the eye. Like that's the bit I was going for.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it failed, man. It just failed. It, like fell on its face. So I was like, oh, well, I also brought a cookie and give you a cookie as a welcome gesture or whatever. So, oh, thanks, man. Thanks. And then, okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
So I leave the room, and then I go into the...
And as he walked off, you shot him with the Nerf gun in the back
threw
of
the Nerf
head.
gun right at his face. Then the publicist comes out. He's like, hey, is it okay if we don't use that like Nerf gun? But I'm like, I'm not going to use any of that.
Right.
I was so angry.
Right.
I was like, look at this poster.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I know. But I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, so you can, whatever he got paid. Say you take $1 million to do the movie.
Right.
But now when you're doing press,
Right.
you have a
you
moral
have standards,
obligation or not obligation, moral objection to guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So there have been times. That's the most recent one, or that's the one that comes top of mind.
Yeah.
But many have failed, bro. Like as we're sitting in a studio and on the monitors there are Blue Jays highlights and some like montages, reels. And to use a baseball analogy, with my segments, I'm probably like 1 for 4 with just like maybe a solid single.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's rare that I'll have a double, or rare, even more rare, a triple. And home runs are my boss. When I first went to TSN from the Score, my boss was like, "We just want you to hit 2 home runs a year,
Yeah.
or hit 1 or 2 home runs a year." So home run would be like a Kobe interview.
Yeah.
So those are friggin' hard. Like, and I really respect what Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Conan,
Yes.
Stephen Colbert, Samantha Bee, Trevor Noah, like what those guys, Graham Norton in the
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got the best one, but what they can do with the entertainers, maybe Fallon or Kimmel might be the best in America because they have, they get a little bit more time, but Fallon gets to play all these wonderful games.
Right.
And then Kimmel, he's just really funny. I mean, Conan's really funny too, but either way, your time with these people is like so limited, even though when you're watching it looks like, oh, these guys were hanging out for like hours.
Yes.
You're hanging out for like 7 minutes,
Right.
6 or 7 minutes
Yeah.
tops. So you got to get in your questions, have your vibe, and then keep it moving. So
Nice.
when I would love to be able to, my goal is to be able to create moments like Fallon and Kimmel and
Yes.
these other types do. And they're harder to get
Right.
than people think. And it's like, hey, how do we create a viral video? Like,
Right.
it's impossible to create a viral video
Absolutely.
on purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you have no idea what the internet wants and
That's
what
right.
the internet will react to. The internet reacts to the dumbest friggin' like.
Most random. The
Yeah,
most
2 years
random.
ago we were talking about a dress, the color of a friggin' dress.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
blue or friggin' gold?
Yes.
Laurel,
Yes.
Yanny, like what? How is that how are those things?
You just
most
never know,
random.
man. You never know. But sometimes there's things that go on. Like for example, when Nick Nurse had his mouth open at that Raptors game.
Right, yeah. He was
Oh,
marveling at
yeah.
the 3 second in the key
I
call.
mean, the minute you're watching that, you're like, that's gonna go.
That's
viral.
a meme, yeah.
Yeah.
And and
Now that's trending. Trending's different than viral though.
fair.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and I'm gonna give Drake credit here. I think Drake understands that he is extremely memeable because he's growing up in this internet era. And
Yes.
like, I don't know if when he was shooting Hotline Bling, when he was doing those moves, if he knew that, someone's going to put a tennis racket in your hand or a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, in the moment, you're just grooving to
Right.
the beat and you're just like doing this music video. But he's just, I don't know, so aware. Like, a lot of, not everything he does, but a lot of what he does becomes memes very quickly.
Very
like,
quickly, yes.
that dude in a jersey, any jersey.
Right.
It's going to get photoshopped
That's
because
right.
now there's a Drake curse.
Yes,
And there's,
yes.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
it's
it got so bad. Did you see, like the internet will always win too?
always, the internet's
always gonna
undefeated.
win.
Yes.
Undefeated. Do you see that meme where they showed the cathedral, the Notre Dame, in Paris, and
No.
it's on fire, and then it showed Drake's face beside it, and it said, "Drake, enough's enough."
Oh.
No, I didn't see that
like
one.
he's responsible for that.
Right. Yeah. So,
Crazy.
like, I mean, these brands
2
and
home
marketing
runs.
agencies, they like to tell you that they can create viral videos, but it's impossible. So 2 home runs a year.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the last home run. It's been. I did an interview with. I don't.
Do you ever get like? Do you ever feel like the butterflies, the pressure when you're about to speak to someone that you've never spoken before?
Yes. Last time that happened, I spoke to Keanu Reeves the other day.
Like, okay.
And and it was in one of these movie junket settings, which is like so artificial, and
Yes. Yeah.
and it's like, again, you're under the clock, and he was all right. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he enjoys that very much.
Yeah.
So he was okay. And it's a little bit like our timing wasn't, because we never met each other before,
Yeah.
and you kind of want this vibe to like just take off right away.
It's tough in such a short, minute time. You're trying to establish rapport. You're trying to get
Yeah.
something real. Man, kudos to you. That's why we so much respect, because it's not easy.
It's not,
That
it's
is
not,
not
no.
easy.
I felt that way, and so in the same junket, Halle Berry's in the movie. So I was in New York for the movie junket for John Wick 3, and Halle Berry's in the film, and I was like, this is a goddess.
Yes.
There's like Halle Berry floats.
Yeah.
And so just sitting and looking at, so as I'm looking across at you, Mike, I sat down and I just I was like,
Yes.
audible, like out, like exhale.
Yes.
So I was like, wow, this is like
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Yeah,
and of
yeah.
course I got to be professional. I can't just be like a geek about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wow, just and she looks the same. Like Halle Berry's in her 50s.
We saw her last year at the. She was. It was a
At
tip for me.
TIFF?
Yes, she was here. I think for Bisha. She was at Bisha Hotel, and she walked in for one of these, and I'm like, "Holy! Does this woman age? Like,
No.
she looked
Yeah,
amazing.
no.
She's
She did
amazing.
float.
She doesn't
glides.
age.
She floats. She also glides.
Beyonce will probably not age.
That's true.
Eddie Murphy hasn't aged.
Yeah.
Like You know, Will Smith isn't really. I mean, a couple of
No,
grays in
you're
his
right.
in his
Yes,
goatee.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's certain guys forever.
Yeah. Well,
Oh man, that's good. That's so good. It's so good. I want to ask you
Yes.
your podcast,
Yes.
Cabbie Presents.
Thanks.
Okay.
Which is also the name of the segment on SportsCenter. Let me just get that cheap plug in there.
yeah. Okay.
That plug was worth about 5 cents. So, worth about a bus token in friggin' 1998.
Who's a guest that who's a guest you want to get in there that
In a podcast
just,
setting.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
number one. You're number one.
Oh
You're
man,
number
because you
one.
get like 45 minutes or an hour. You get to
your
really
choice.
dive in.
You get your choice. They say, you know, they're
man.
gonna make it happen.
We'll see if we can make it. Happen.
Like that old guy on what's it called again? Shoot.
Which old guy? For what? Like a philosopher or someone?
No,
who's
that kid show. I was gay.
Fred Rogers? Mr.
No,
Rogers?
the one who goes, if you could have a wish.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, Mike.
Are we- did-
stumped
Do you
me.
mean like Will Smith as Aladdin? Like you mean the
No,
genie
no.
in the lamp?
No, there was like a
Because he grants-
talent show on TV, like Channel 11 talent show.
Really?
In
Yeah.
like the 80s?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh man.
I was on it, so this is actually
Oh,
really
were
bad
you?
that I don't remember this.
Like
you don't remember the title of the show either?
Like America's got. I mean, Canada's
It's
got.
like our
Talent.
it was like our Star Search kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
and like
okay.
whatever the guy that hosted it, he'd ask these kids if there's anything that you can have, what would it be? And most kids would be like, peace in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart
yeah,
kids.
and the other answer was $100 to buy a house. You know?
That's outstanding.
Tiny Talentine.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
No, I never saw that
Oh,
show.
man.
Never,
Sorry,
man.
it
Sorry,
didn't-
Mike.
I
Sorry, I
guess
missed your debut, Mike.
It didn't.
Sorry.
It didn't broadcast in Flemo. So which guest? Like your ultimate guest? You could have any guest. 45 minutes. You're with them, close, intimate setting, and they're down to talk.
You know what would be pretty cool? Would be and she's doing a like an arena tour
Yes.
selling her book. So
Oh.
people are getting
Michelle.
Yeah, people are experiencing that, which like Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if it's at a dinner and we start the podcast like 6 glasses of wine deep,
Yeah.
that's when I want to hit record. Because then you get loose, shoulders back, and
Yeah.
then just like
Yeah.
listen, Michelle. Like,
Yeah. My wife went to that this past weekend.
oh really?
Yeah, it was this past weekend. And
Was it in the city?
Oh yeah, it was at Scotiabank Arena.
Oh man, who hosted it?
Man.
I'm so jealous
I
if it was
can't
like
remember.
George or like I
yeah.
think Oprah did one in Chicago.
Yeah, I can't remember, but she I know my wife was saying, look, she's having a rough week. She wants something to give her that little bit of kick. And I mean,
Who was having it? Michelle was having
no,
it?
no,
Oh, your
my
wife was.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
because she's very inspiring and stuff, right? And obviously she's read her book and all, but I mean, she left there feeling like completely empowered. And
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like she really enjoyed it, and yeah, I mean, to me that's amazing. I mean, to be able to have that, and they've done so much, man. You know what I mean? It's
It would be cool.
Why Michelle Obama?
I would just want to know. Well, she has access to the whole world,
yeah,
and she's met everybody.
right.
And like, I don't know if Michelle Obama's in a room, there aren't many more people. Like, I don't know if she can walk in a room and people want to meet someone else. Like, even if Barack Obama's in the room,
Yeah,
I think Michelle is the one that people want to go speak with.
Yes.
And there's maybe 4 or 5 people who,
Right.
like, I don't even think of, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But her life as a lawyer and or in a professional life as a lawyer growing up, and just like things about the White House and American politics and policy I'd want to know about. And then just like when they're like, Michelle, like what's on, like how do you make playlists? Like, are you on Spotify looking
Yeah.
at or
Right.
like there's like, is there a blog? Are you getting sent music?
Right.
Like, did
Yeah.
Beyonce send you the record before we got it, before she went to Coachella?
yeah.
And like, Michelle, can I just swipe left a few times on your phone? Let me
Right.
just, not that there'd be anything like, salacious on there, but I'm like,
Yes.
what's, or like read a text message exchange.
Right.
Just like, you just like, you have the main panel of your text message and just like the names of the people. And
Yes.
just want to like scroll down, like who gets the message, Michelle
Right,
Obama?
right.
Yeah.
Just dumb things like that. I'd want to
Yeah.
know. Obviously, I'd want to know, like, I know, like, your husband got to see the aliens because
Right.
his hair went from black to white.
Yes.
So that's the moment. He came back from seeing the aliens in friggin' Nevada.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
every
yeah.
president at one point, they're just
That's a point.
totally white.
That's
their
right.
hair.
That's right.
Lose all pigmentation. They're
Yeah.
not, I don't think the number 45 they're taking to the aliens because he hasn't earned that
no.
privilege. Or they may. Well, maybe they just
he might try to fire them. That's why.
He might try to blow it up. Might try to make them. These are illegal aliens? We got to get them out of here.
Yeah. Let's build a wall. Let's keep them. Let's keep them in a wall.
Sir, we're 50 floors beneath the earth. They are bunkered. The wall is here. So Michelle would be pretty awesome to speak with.
That's good, man. when you're looking at people that want to get into this industry all the time, I mean, all the time, whether you're getting into journalism or want to be an actor or want to do this or that, what would be your advice to somebody that based on your experiences of the ingredients of what they need?
Well, the hustle muscle for one, and then two, just the wanting to create your own material and sort of hone your voice, not your speaking voice, but like your point of view.
Right.
And a lot of young people do ask me that, and there are tons of people that are spoken who have taken the initiative to start a podcast like you guys have, just like creating, like having your own conversations and just letting the people know what your perspective on the world is, whether it's satirical, whether it's analytical, whether it's observational, whether it's some humor. You're talking about relationships, health, lifestyle, all that stuff, and just like work on writing. I always tell people your writing will separate you from your peers, whether again you're deeply analytical or you're political or you're focused on economy or you mix humor into that or pop culture like Bill Simmons did, who a lot of people in sports look up to because he was the first person to imbue sports and pop culture. My guy was referencing like 90210, Beverly Hills 90210 in like columns about the Red Sox,
right?
In like 02 or 03, like what?
Right.
But he was the first one to do that and then popularize it. So, the world is your oyster, if you will, and you can blend all different types of things, mash them up. We've seen it. You mentioned music earlier. People have done it in music for a long time, and why not do it in writing or videos or whatever?
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah, that's so
many ways to do that.
Very true.
Let me ask you. You get a call. It's Drake.
Yeah.
Drake says
he's calling the wrong dude. He says, a lot of people were not available if it gets down to me.
He says, Cabbie, it's Aubrey. Okay. And
it's
Aubrey. And he says, you're mayor. I've made you mayor. Okay.
Okay.
What are you gonna do for the city?
Oh,
ooh,
wow.
Ooh.
Well, man. I mean, the Ontario government took back the subway projects, right?
Yes.
So I would want to. I know. Oof. Okay. What do I do? We gotta move people around.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta move people around more effectively. That is a great question because what would I, as the uncle in Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think I would bleep that up.
So you call Elon Musk and tell
yes,
him like,
Elon,
look,
listen, we need
Toronto is going to be a pilot project.
We got to build that.
Yeah, do your
the Hyperloop from Montreal to Toronto or Ottawa to Toronto.
Go nuts, bro.
To Windsor.
Go nuts. Okay.
I guess I would listen. I'm not a cyclist, but I'd probably try to make Toronto a little bit more European in that more like walking promenades.
Yeah.
So shut down some blocks.
Walkabout neighborhoods.
Yeah. Just have more. It just makes the city cool, and it's less noisy.
Yeah.
And
I know we're one of those cities or world-class cities or potential world-class cities that don't have that. Where there's no cars in this neighborhood. Any major city that you go to, there's full-out areas that you can't bring cars there.
Right.
Yeah, but we just, for some reason, we cannot separate ourselves from our vehicles here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the like North American culture. Even though there are parts of cities that you just said that are just very pedestrian.
Yeah.
Like we don't have like. Have you guys been to Barcelona?
No.
Like there's an area called La Ramblas.
I've been to Brampton.
You've been. Which is nothing like
Bramptolona.
Yo, Jacuzzi Park's nice place. A nice place.
Jacuzzi is Beauvert is very much like La Ramblas.
Okay.
But it's pretty much so it's like University Ave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the middle is all vendors. And then there's like one lane on each side, or maybe two lanes for like cars, but it's a very wide street.
Nice.
And it's mostly pedestrian.
It's amazing.
Or maybe it's just like bicycles, but we need some of that in this.
We do need it.
Even though it would anger a lot of drivers, myself as a driver, I don't know if I'd be angry by it, and maybe the revenue may not be the same because they always get us on parking tickets and then the friggin' sticker for the plates.
Right.
True.
Although that might be an Ontario thing, but the parking tickets. Oh,
big money.
what?
Yes.
I'm just so angry. And whenever I see those guys, I haven't confronted one of those parking
Yeah.
parking ticket.
That's a segment. Parking enforcement.
Parking enforcement.
Yeah.
Because I know they're just doing a job. I'm like, bro, I make 38 grand a year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm just
Right.
doing this, I'm old. This is
Yeah.
like my part-time. I'm like, yeah, but you're one of the worst humans in our society. Giving out parties. You're one of the worst.
Yeah.
A colleague of ours did a quick park. He was by Ryerson area. Went back to his car. He actually paid $10 parking. Came back thinking, I'm going to top up. So he spent another $10, and when he went to put it, he had a $450 ticket.
Did he park? Oh, he parked in front of
on the wrong. It was a standby area, and it had a wheelchair sign.
Oh,
and he didn't look. He said he literally looked up, and the sun was there, and he kind of just he just did it kind of quickly.
I did that once.
And the intent was to pay.
And he paid
Wow.
before and after still. So
Yeah.
he already dished out $20.
Yeah.
Did you know there was a $450?
Yeah, no, I did
ticket?
that once. Yeah, I in the same day, not to be the one-up guy.
Yeah.
Same day, I did that. Because those
Oh,
are the
yeah?
worst. Those
Oh,
are the
yeah.
worst. We all have friends that are like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
guy, will you just let this mother bleeper tell the story? You don't
Yeah.
need to jump in with your additional, like,
Yeah, you see that?
Exactly.
You
we're
got
not talking about Iron Man,
That's
my
right.
dude.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
He's talking about competing in Iron Man, not Tony friggin' Stark.
Yeah. Exactly.
Relax.
Exactly.
I have one friend, I have multiple times, like, guy, will you let him just tell the story?
Yeah.
I always wants to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So same day, parked wheelchair within the wheelchair space, and then I parked somewhere. It was between 4 to 6, and you can't park on certain streets because
Yeah.
it's rush hour. Got dinged for another $250. I was irate.
Yes.
Did you
That
fight
day-
it? Did you fight it?
No, I just went like a coward.
Yeah.
I just went and paid my 7 bills. Just
Oh
a
my
coward. Actually,
goodness.
that time I had to pay $1,100 because I had some other
Well, look,
parking tickets.
This was
Oh,
a problem that you had that your predecessor put in place of this 4 to 6. I mean, the other mayor. Okay, I'm just joking.
John.
Which we have an idea. We want to get him on.
John Tory?
Yeah, my boy has a barbershop in Regent Park, Supreme Barbershop. If you're in the area,
Shout out to
great
Daniel
place.
Spectrums, by the way. I was
Oh,
over
yeah.
there the other day.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
They're doing great work in the community.
I was there
Nice.
yesterday for
Oh,
a,
nice.
for a screenwriting conference.
Oh, sick.
What a cool spot.
Sick.
That whole area it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The people that got shipped out to Brampton and stuff probably don't like it as much.
No,
But
they can't even swim in the pool. You know
are you kidding me?
It's like it's.
What do you
weird.
mean?
Well, they can, but the hours for the residents are different. There's so many programs that cost money that
That they're not
kids
priv-
with
they're-
means
they're not
can
privy
go.
to.
They can go swim there, but like a free swim from
Right.
Saturdays from 10 to 5. Those things aren't as available
Wow.
as they should.
Mm.
Anyway,
That's
maybe
so
I'll
big.
also
That's-
handle that on
that's-
my
Okay,
docket.
so go on. So as mayor, you will make sure.
everybody can swim.
Okay.
And then we have swim caps for young black girls because they're not like or like different ones so that because they're
Yes.
not jumping in any kind of
And-
chlorinated
and-
water.
and a lot of good tubs of lotion.
Yeah.
No. Listen,
Right,
streets are
dry-
ashy. Streets are ashy.
Streets are ashy.
Streets
Guy
are
was
ashy.
I was doing that to my elbows before I came in. With some lotion.
So anything else? Anything that stands out? I don't want to beat it, but these are good ideas. As mayor,
Oh, so for the city.
as mayor for
Yeah,
you know.
more. No, I think I've tapped out. That's the end of. That's all the bandwidth that I have for that idea. Unfortunately, listen, I'm not a smart man. I talk for a
Whatever.
living. I don't
You
think.
chubby bastard.
Exactly.
That's
No.
what you said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stop
I have a
it.
tattoo on my upper back. Chubby bastard.
In Latin,
Isn't that it?
right?
What-
Can you
Yes.
imagine?
Yeah. No, it's. I actually got the Dewey Decimal System, so you have to like. What do those words mean? Shout out to whoever Dewey was, that mathematician who like
Don't you know the Dewey Decimal
that
System?
coin that broke.
UHF. Remember UHF?
I never saw it.
Conan the Librarian.
No, that's funny though.
You
Yeah.
never seen Conan the Librarian?
No.
Oh man, it's a
I mean, I'm
spook.
aware of Weird Al Yankovic. I
Yeah.
just never saw that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You never seen UHF either?
Nah, man.
No.
Oh my goodness,
Nah.
you guys.
Not on
can
Flemo TV either.
Listen, that key, that key that you meant for Kobe. What you guys got to do is you got to get the laser disc. Okay.
Excellent
In-
reference. I gotta go to a Queen Street video.
Yeah, invite Kobe. Show up with the laser disc. See if he'll come watch UHF with you.
Yeah, man.
He'd be like, "Get the bleep out of my face with that."
So you pretty much you dive into basketball quite a bit.
I do.
Okay, so I mean, just to because it's there, being as close to the Raptors and basketball in general, and hearing all this and all that, what would be your prediction of, not if the Raptors make it or this or that? Because it is scary just watching them right now and see what's happening. But Kawhi Leonard, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of rumors that he's going to leave.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to preface this by saying I've never correctly predicted the outcome of anything in life.
Right.
So if I say he's going to stay, he's gonna leave. If I say he's gonna leave, he's gonna stay.
But it's always good. I mean, what does your hunch think?
But it's
Hey,
always
that's not nice to call a guy out on his hunch. Okay.
I have been rolling my shoulders forward for some reason.
Yeah.
Just because my belly fat is just pulling my back down. I need to rectify that big
Chubby
time.
bastard in London. I mean, sorry, in Latin. I could just see it on your back.
With that particular font.
Yeah.
Like it's a cooler Times New Roman font.
Yeah, exactly. Underlined with barbed wire.
Listen, if he wants to go home and play in California, no one could really be mad at him. I mean, the lure of playing at home is very strong.
Aside from our entire city. Right. Okay.
Well, because none of our players are Canadians.
Our whole city would be mad. Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean he would draw the ire of the fans for sure, but they'd have to understand. Like it happens in other sports.
Yes.
I mean we're in Toronto. John Tavares angered that whole fan base in Long Island, coming to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Right.
Happens all the time. I mean LeBron went home, and I don't know if people in Miami were really upset with him, but it happens. So I would lean towards him leaving and going to play in California.
Yeah.
Most likely for the Clippers because Jerry West is running the organization, but
Yes.
I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah, we don't
I've only
know.
met Kawhi once, and it was like 39 seconds.
Yes.
It was very, very brief. So.
Really? Wow. He's a machine. Now, if we win, if we take it all, do you think he leaves?
Kawhi has to consider, like, what is the team going to look like in 2 or 3 years? Like, who's going to be here?
Right.
And I don't know if, I mean, that's a long conversation with Uncle Dennis and Masai Ujiri. Because Uncle Dennis is Kawhi's, like, I don't want to say legal guardian, but Kawhi's father was killed when he was 14. Uncle Dennis assumed the father figure role. So everything runs through Uncle Dennis. So, like, it's like, and Masai is a brilliant man, and he can pitch a certain vision that they're going to have and probably outline the 5-10 players that they're aiming for to pull in here. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Masai's fleeced like every GM, like every other team on trades and stuff.
Yeah.
At like fleece San Antonio, you're gonna take a shot. We have Kawhi Leonard, guys averaging 38 points a game in this series against Philadelphia.
Right.
Shooting 62%. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron have never done that in a series. Oh, Jordan did it once in one series.
Right.
But like Kawhi is, as you said, a machine. He was born in a lab.
Yeah.
There's a USB port somewhere on his back that when he sits down, he recharges. Actually, he just sits down on a bed of Tesla batteries, and then through Wi-Fi is how he recharges.
Yes.
And he goes out and drops 39 and 14.
So we don't pick up on it. That's why they kind of shaved off his time. They had a ceiling to his minutes during the season, so we wouldn't pick up on it.
Yeah, now it's go time. Yeah, he only played 60 regular season games.
Yes.
Now it's like, we're emptying out the chamber, my dude.
Yeah,
We're getting you all the way down to the battery icon is blinking, my dude, with the red.
Right. Well, it is exciting times. Just to
I don't think I answered your question. I was like, I'm the enemy of silence, and I just go off on these tangents that just have nowhere.
Classic sports answer. You gave 110%.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so vague.
Look, I want to ask you. Constantine was alluding to it earlier. We met on the street. I mean, we've met in passing through the city.
Okay,
a little bit here and there. Once you were walking on Queen Street, you were walking.
Wait, is this a real story, or is this because you're wearing the sunglasses? I don't know if I can't really.
This is real. This
is a real story. Okay, okay.
You can look into my eyes.
You're walking.
You're
walking.
I want to look into your pupils to know if this is the truth.
So you were in the mucky, beautiful world of Queen West.
Okay.
Right at Bathurst, heading eastbound, coming in front of the Burroughs Building. Burroughs Building is by CB2. And as you're walking by, saw you, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's Cabbie. And I was waving, but you didn't.
Oh, that's the story?
So then 15 minutes later, I had a chance to redeem myself, and you were walking back, and you had some bags from Loblaws.
Oh, okay,
which is
yeah.
Pondy Corner on Portland.
Yeah.
And as you're coming back, I'm like, yo, Cabbie, what's up, man? And right away, you're a nice guy, super cool, always open. You come over there, and you came up to me to say hi. I was there because I was working security.
Okay.
I was working at the door. So I said, I'm like, listen, man, what's going on with you? I just want to say what's up. Everything you do is amazing in the city. So you said, oh, yeah, I'm going to LA. I'm going to be doing this. Do you remember this conversation?
No.
Okay, so.
I hope I wasn't a jerk, though.
No.
Like, was it like, oh, I'm going to LA, like one of these.
No, you said no. You're never like that. So you're like, look, I'm going to LA. I'm going to be doing this. And I encouraged you to kill it in LA.
Thanks.
And I said to you, I'm like, look, man, you're amazing at what you do. Don't go in there with small man syndrome. And I kind of just said, like, look, as polite Canadians, we go in there.
This feels a little familiar now.
Do you remember? Okay, so I was a little bit more
aggressive?
Maybe.
I don't think you were aggressive. If you're at work, it's not like you're not a dude that's like gonna just buck up on someone unless challenged.
No, I'm told that I was still standing on a street corner, so there's a part of me that really came out. I think it was a little. It was good aggression. Okay, but I guess if someone drove by, they'd think I'm maybe like gonna be violent. I just have that. Okay, but no, we had a real talk. I kind of I let you know just some things about just going in there because I truly told you what I thought about you, that your work, that you're just a powerhouse, bro.
Thanks,
and and I say that still, even like.
And obviously, I didn't listen. I didn't take heed.
Hey, look, hey,
because here we are. We're still in Toronto.
There's winnings and learnings. So this is on the cusp of you going, and I just said, like, look, don't be polite. Don't go in there and just trying to earn your place. Go and command the room because you have that. You got that. Mm-hmm. And you looked up at me and you said, "Who are you, bro?" As you said.
Did I say that?
And I said, "Hey, man, name's Mike, man. I'll see you another day." And then this is what you said, like literally kind of looking through me. You said, "Bro, I'm gonna go for a jog." And that's it. And then literally, and I'm like, okay. And then you literally, with your bags, you just crossed the street. And then I was like, hey, man, amazing. So
I don't know if that story is. I mean, it feels like 71% true.
No, that's 100%.
But I'm leaning on the 29 right now.
No, it's 100%. Hey, good math. Good math. He's showing his mathematical prowess there.
Yeah.
You know.
How long ago was this? How many years ago?
Maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. It feels a little familiar. Like I feel like because I don't have conversations like that very often.
Yeah.
So.
It's all good. So I say the same thing. I bring it up to say the same thing, that whatever you're doing, anything that you have on the horizon that you're looking to do or break ground, let us know. We're always there to help, bro.
Thank you.
We know some people. We know how to get intel to basically like blackmail. We're the art of exploitation. There's nothing like. I mean,
I definitely need a friend like you.
Yeah, friends
to get into sticky situations and get out of sticky situations.
Yeah, I mean, this is all just a front. I mean, like no, just playing. No, but like, whatever you look to do, let us know how we can help.
Thank you.
Also, anything that you have that you're looking to sink your teeth in. I mean, I think you should be writing and making stuff, bro. You should be creating, like truly creating.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But this is wonderful that you said this is a great reminder of something that's sitting on my desk in my tiny little office at my place.
Okay.
This is a great reminder.
And I say it because I was at this amazing Toronto screenwriting conference. I was
there
yesterday.
You said yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, so I was there. And man, at the core, some incredibly talented people that had small thinking. That's the truth. And we all kind of suffer from it. If you come from here, you kind of look, meager roots, Flemington, Cambridge, and you just think, who am I? I'm not the Geldom Sugar. Like, who am I? Right?
Yeah.
And we had these producers, some big producers out of the States, some who I've had a chance to even work with, which is really cool. Got to meet them again. They were basically saying, look, talent can come from anywhere. Believe in what you're doing. And they basically were challenging the room. Get that thing written. That it will speak for you. You were saying earlier about writing on the score, putting something down. I don't know why I'm even saying this, but whatever you have written, get it out there, bro.
Thank you. Okay.
Get out there. Like,
that's a great reminder.
Prophetic word right there, man.
It really is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Get
that's
it out
good,
there,
man.
bro.
Thank you, Mike.
Good.
I'm gonna go for a jog.
Yeah.
Part 2. Do you want to just? I think it's look for us. I just found out when I was doing a little background that you actually. I mean, I knew that you did a podcast, but it was all connected to. When does this podcast play? When?
I'm trying. Thank you for asking. Every other Wednesday, I put out a new one. So the last one I posted was with Canadian figure skaters Tessa Virtue and
that was amazing.
Scott Moyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then this
hilarious.
week, thanks. This week, sorry, that was last week. So then next week, I have a podcast with Gary Payton coming out, who's a Hall of Famer, played for the Seattle Sonics and played for Milwaukee, Miami, and the Lakers.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got incredible confidence.
Yeah,
he's got great confidence. Great confidence.
Great confidence and great stories. He has a couple of good. Well, he's one good one about like what he ate before games.
And when does it come out?
That is next Wednesday. So I'm not sure when people will hear this, but mid-May, I guess.
Okay.
Mid-May 2019. Someone might hear this in like 2020.
Right.
Go back and you'll find it on iTunes or Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
ask him if he's.
I already did it.
No. Oh, you did it. Oh, yeah. She was going to say ask if he's better than Paul Pierce, because Paul Pierce has been saying how he's better than everybody.
He probably says better than Paul, but Paul Pierce is a Finals MVP, so Paul Pierce can always. Yeah. That's the one thing that sports fans at the very base always go to: how many rings is this person?
Right.
And that's how we are. analyze or evaluate their greatness,
Yes.
which is not the right,
No, not at all.
not the
at
right
all.
measurement of someone's
Yeah.
greatness. But anyway, so
Okay.
So it gets pushed out on Wednesdays.
what? Yeah,
in general,
it's Wednesdays in general. Yeah, and then I have another one with. Have you guys spoken to Shamir Anderson? Is a local actor, or
Yeah.
Stefan James?
Yeah.
So two dudes from
Scarborough boys.
Yeah.
Bay Mills dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a conversation with Shamir Anderson coming out in a couple of weeks after that. And,
Nice.
And then, much like you guys, are always sort of on the grind, just trying to get people to come in and
Yes.
have these conversations. It's tough to have someone commit to agree to commit to for for half hour, an hour,
Yeah, for
whatever.
sure.
So
Yeah.
it's part of the hustle.
Well, look, man.
Blackmail.
Maybe-
Remember?
yeah. Well-
Yes, I need some more encrypted data in my life.
We can sell guests. We have a couple that right?
Yeah.
We'll come up with some licensing.
I hope
agreement.
I intend to leave here with a few USB sticks. So I'm gonna go right to that top drawer over there.
There you
I
go,
know there's
man.
some goods back there.
Oh yeah, man. All the good stuff.
Okay.
Amazing, man. Cabbie, thank you so much for coming down.
Thanks
man.
for having me.
I
This
mean,
is a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's for people to hear this today and watch it, I know there's going to be nuggets in there that people can grab and apply to them. Because I mean, for us, it's your story. Whether you look at it or you joke about it, it really is an inspiration, man. I mean, what you're doing, and what you're doing for the city as well. I mean,
see the humility on this guy. Even as you're saying,
sometimes
you're ducking.
Look, man,
you're ducking.
I mean,
look, Cabbie,
so
sometimes
good,
look, bro, I'll
bro.
tell you right now. Sometimes you do things and we don't even know what we're doing and the impact that is happening, and that's the reality. And to me, I think that's amazing, man. Amazing.
Thanks.
And I'm very happy you came on the show, man.
My
Really,
pleasure.
really
Thanks for
happy,
the invite,
bro.
Con.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely,
brother.
bro. I am, dude.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Thanks
dude.
I'm
very
gonna
much,
go
man.
get that jog in.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Listen to this episode on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure to drop by next week. And don't forget to subscribe.
Let's go!
It's time to give a shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Sentinel Security Plus. For all your premium security needs, visit SentinelSecurityPlus.com.
And The Substance Group for all your integrated marketing solutions. Visit TheSubstanceGroup.com.